still, I don't see that being a January move. It's impossible to be a January move. There's too many moving parts. There's too much money involved for it to be a January move.
This is Matchweek. You are joined by myself, Ardi Emini. We discuss everything soccer, from the highs and the lows in the sporting week to the news that is relevant to you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you are listening top of the hour on WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Matchweek. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a different studio as per usual. We are in the Studio B. Now, for those who don't know what Studio B is usually a studio that's used for offline content, for podcast productions and so on and so forth, for interviews and talk shows. And fun fact about this studio is where Matchweek was created. Yes, round of applause for everyone in the studio, please. Thank you. Yep, that's right. Just stroke my ego, please. So it was really, really cool experience finally coming back here. Honestly, threw me for a loop. But we are here live on air, and we have a lot to talk about. So let me just introduce my co-host for today. The ADJs are back and in full swing. We have
Steven Moncayo
and
Thomas Gaffney.
Let's go, boys. Come on. We have a resident Real Madrid fan and Evertonian. Haha, take the L, Thomas, take the L. But before we can go into Premier League and a huge milestone being hit, before we can talk about El Clasico, before we can talk about the German wall being nearly taken down, we have some breaking and controversial news, boys. Kylian Mbappe supposedly wanting to now leave PSG after signing a $300 million contract for 3 years, and also being given the rights to decide what manager comes in and what players come in, and also how France is being ran. He's the new prime minister of France. What are we thinking, boys?
It's crazy to me that he is being kind of forced out of this club after just signing that huge deal. But I would love to see him in a Real Madrid jersey. I think that would be amazing.
I don't want him there. Simple, clear. I don't want him there over there.
Yeah, get out. Okay.
Look,
yeah,
look.
You say this now, but when he's there scoring goals, like, oh my God, Mbappe, we love him.
Clear.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
All right, but the question is, like, if he does go to Real Madrid, man, like, I just don't know. I think Vinny's doing really good. I think Benzema.
But here's the thing. Benzema, you gotta understand, he can't keep performing at this level for the longest time.
True.
I think there's nothing wrong with having a new talisman come in.
That's true.
I mean, Rodrigo's doing great, but I don't think Rodrigo's gonna get benched right away. You still have Asensio. You have Valverde filling in that role.
Yeah.
So I think having someone who can flow in that front line is really crucial, especially because of how versatile he is in positions, and also I think how well he could link up with a Vinicius, because Vinicius, he's not as like cocky or as ego driven as like maybe some of the other guys at PSG, right? Like, he is more so a like grounded footballer in regards to that, because yes, he's playing for one of the top clubs in the world. Yes, he's won a Champions League with them, but he still doesn't have that like, oh, I'm better than you mentality yet. You know, he's still developing, and I think that's where he could probably mesh well with someone who's around the same age as him being successful.
Oh yeah, definitely. But he does really have like a really big ego, Mbappe. I don't know. It's just an attitude that he has towards the game. It's just.
Well, maybe I think it's also like your environment develops how you develop. So a lot of players, like, I mean, throw it back at Everton. James Gardner, like, went on the pitch against Manchester United and looked like a class professional. There was no personal bias there. There was no anger shown. Like, I think they have the chance to be as rational as they want to be, but it all depends on how well you really set yourself up for it with people around you. Right. But also there is some speculations about why he's being forced out. Can we talk about some of them here, boys? Are we ready for it?
Yeah, we're ready.
So speculation number one, what do you think it is? Do you think that there's locker room issues? Do you think that it's managerial decisions? Like, what is going on that he's suddenly being forced out?
I think it's locker room issues. You have 3 of the best players in the world on the same team, and you saw it in past seasons with Neymar. Like, they've been fighting for the longest time. Now you bring in Messi to the mix. I feel like it just creates a whole bunch of controversy. They all want to score goals, they all want to assist, but they're all not going to get it. So I feel like there's some locker room dispute that's going on that they're not going to tell us, but they're just going to come out and say that it's like managerial issues. But I feel like it's locker room.
Yeah, just wait until we have an all or nothing PSG edition where we find everything out. Steven, what do you think of the issues is?
I don't know, man. Like, he really shouldn't have any issues with the club. They gave him a $300 million contract. The decisions to decide the manager or the players that to be brought in. It's just, I don't see why he needs to be disappointed in the club as of right now. But if anything, I think it has to be with locker room issues, definitely, because it's just, I heard of the issues in the past with Neymar, like, they're taking the penalty and everything. Who should take the penalty? And now that you bring Messi into the mix, it makes it just a lot more complicated. But definitely there's something in the locker room that's going on, and I don't know. Actually, I want to find out too as well. So, yeah.
Neymar is just sitting here and he sees that Mbappe gets this $300 million contract and can make all the decisions he wants. How does Neymar feel about that? He comes in as one of the best players in the world at the time when he came into PSG. He didn't get all of that, and now Mbappe is sitting here getting all of that, and now. How does he feel about that? Like, I feel like he definitely has like a take on it. I feel like he definitely feels like he should have gotten that also.
Okay. But
do we think that maybe it's like the decision of owners on this part, because they are owned by the Qatari sports group, and obviously we know in Qatar, like, they're hosting the World Cup and everything, but there's a lot of controversy behind how they're developing their stadiums with human rights issues. Do we think that because of maybe some of Mbappe's personal involvements that this might be a decision?
I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Well, don't get me wrong, boys. This is a tough line to walk around. I'm going to go further into it, but I'll make sure I have all the information gathered first.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, Kylian Mbappe over the summer and a little bit recently was together with a model named Ines Rao. And for those of you who don't know, Ines Rao is the first transgender model to appear on the cover of Playboy magazine. Now, obviously, being owned by a Qatari sports group, who are, have human rights issues, who do sadly have some distinct views of Islam that's not really correct, as some other Muslims would say, including myself. Do we think that because of his involvement and they want to protect their image that this could be an option as well? Or do we think it's just purely a footballing decision?
I feel like that has to come in. That has to be a factor. But I feel like it's more of a football decision than that. But that definitely is a factor towards them in getting Mbappe out. But I don't think it's as much. I don't think it's as much as a factor as like the football aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really think I don't think it should be like. I don't think it's true. I don't know. I just don't believe it.
Here's like, do you don't believe it, or do you want to not believe it? Is the question.
I don't believe it. It's just I don't understand why. I understand. Okay, they have the they're Saudi. They have their own like religious views on like what should be done. But it's just I don't think that like as what you gave to this player that you're gonna force him out the club just because of his just because of what, like, I don't know, his personal life.
I know, but the thing is that, like, they're known for sports washing. Like, you gotta understand, like, a lot of clubs, like, even the owners of Newcastle now, or Roman Abramovich when he was the owner of Chelsea, like, sports washing is still a prevalent issue within the world of any sport. And maybe that they want to have a certain image that they're not going to divulge to the fans. Because obviously it's like, oh, perfect, we have a scapegoat excuse of he's being, too ridiculous in the locker room. He has too much of an ego on himself. We don't believe he's the betterment of the future for the club. Meanwhile, there is some personal motivators in the background that could be allegedly, like I said, we don't have all the facts yet. Yeah. There's still a developing news story, but allegedly this could be the case.
It could be true,
Could be. Any other last thoughts before we switch to a new topic, boys?
No. I think I'm good with this.
You think you're good on this? Good on this? Steven, I'm sorry to tell you, he will go to Real Madrid. There's no... I will say this right now. If he ends up at a Premier League club...
It better be Man City.
No.
No.
Bro, imagine this.
No.
Imagine this. Bro,
No.
it's the modern day. It's the modern day.
No.
Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. You saw my story.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Dude, no. I don't.
First of all, it's gonna be too overpowered.
Holland is already
It's gonna ruin
animal.
football.
No,
It's
stop.
gonna ruin
No.
the sport.
This is where like we gotta pull an NBA rule and be like, yo, max amount of stars
That
on
would
your
be
team,
so funny.
not
I feel like
allowed.
that would be
No,
the best.
yeah.
Now, if we're talking about
but not realistic.
Maybe
at
if
all.
we're talking about the other side of Manchester,
Maybe United.
I
That
mean,
also could be a factor. But I would just love Haaland and Mbappe. on the
I mean,
same
like,
team.
granted, he probably ruined his career there, as most players do,
Yeah.
sadly. But I'll have to say, as long as it's not Liverpool or Chelsea, I'm okay with wherever he goes. If he goes to a Newcastle, bro, imagine, that'd be crazy. I'd be so hyped. I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, let's go.
Link up
I am
with
so
Bruno?
down for that. Why not? I mean, speaking of the Premier League, we are on our Prem wrap-up, boys. We have a lot to talk about over the weekend. Now, there's a lot of things that happened. There's a lot of results. I think we should go in chronological order. So what was the first game you boys would like to talk about? And there's no dead air. We are continuously talking. You guys want to start with Bournemouth or because it was first Bournemouth and Leicester 2-1 result to Bournemouth.
No, yeah, that one definitely surprised me. Like especially how informed Leicester was coming into the.
I mean, Leicester only had like what, one game on the bounce after getting wrecked for 3 games in a row.
James Maddison in form. I don't know. It just seemed like I saw something like a light in Leicester. You know, I was believing in them for a bit, but
Yeah.
it did disappoint me with the Bournemouth fixture. But don't get me wrong, Bournemouth is actually also impressive as well in that fixture. You know, a lot of improvement in Bournemouth, especially after the manager was fired.
I mean, yeah, but Scott Parker, I think we have an opinion on the show that he's not a Premier League manager, so it makes sense to get rid of him.
Exactly.
Because look what he did the first time when he came up with Fulham. It's like Fulham now versus Fulham then. It's like 2 different sides.
No, yeah.
So there's a clear and obvious difference between managerial improvement.
But there's definitely something about Bournemouth just being higher than Liverpool. I mean, that's really impressive for
Well,
team like
I think
Bournemouth.
it's going to show how horrendous Liverpool have been
I mean,
playing.
definitely, yeah,
but
that
again,
is true.
we'll talk about that a little bit later.
But, yeah.
But here's the thing. For Bournemouth's sake, I think missing a few key players like Pearson, like Brooks, like Rothwell and Kelly, I think the fact they're able to pull the result with the players they had is very impressive. Especially someone who's seen as like a starlet as Pearson, who they bought from Bristol, I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's either Bristol City or it was Preston.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not really sure.
When in doubt, Foot Mob can figure it out. I'll check right now. When in doubt, that should be like a theme song. Career Preston North End. I was right.
Yeah.
The ball knowledge, boys, I'm on it. Yes, but here's the thing. Do we think? I'm gonna say this right now. Brendan Rodgers is way out of his league. Like, don't get me wrong. He had a solid stint at Liverpool, but the recruitment was just poor on his behalf.
No, yeah.
What was it, Celtic, right? Yeah, at Celtic, he did a really good job. Like, really helped dominate the league, helped take some titles away from Rangers. Like, Celtic was a great job. Can't complain about his time at Celtic whatsoever. At Leicester, I have a problem with it because when he got there, Leicester was on the cusp of breaking the top 6 side, like, bracket.
They were consistent.
Like, they were considered to be up there. And then as soon as it switches from all the recruitments made before him to all the decisions under him and coaching decisions, we see a huge dovetail in form and in performances. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, Patsandaka was signing under him. Iosi Perez was signing under him, but was horrendous. Prayet was a signing under him, but was solid.
Castagne was signing under him?
Yeah, but Castagne, I still don't know how to feel about him. Like, I loved Castagne at Atalanta, but I don't think he's just been used right at Leicester because he's more of a wingback than everything else. Like, he thrives in a 5 at the back system.
Oh, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Johnny Evans, most goated center back in the Premier League.
No, yeah. No, he's
No. All jokes aside, like, he's always a solid Premier League
solid.
performer, Johnny Evans. But having lose Wesley Fofana when he's only played realistically one season in the Prem ever. He had his first season with Leicester, ACL injury, and then now he's with Chelsea.
No, yeah. I
So-
just feel like you can't really definitely blame entirely Brendan Rodgers because he did lose.
Yeah,
lot of
I agree
key
with you on
players.
that part, but I think this is the trend's been there. Like,
Yeah.
the obvious errors of if indeed he's out, what happens?
Yeah.
Of, if James Maddison injures, what happened? Is Vardy still going to be at the club forever? Like, where are these answers that a lot of fans of Leicester need?
I think where they messed up is just they didn't bring a new keeper. I mean, Danny Ward's very solid.
Yes.
Danny Ward's very solid. It's just
No, don't be nice. Don't be nice.
Okay,
Look,
okay. Look.
Danny Ward
He
is
was
a champion.
solid.
Danny Ward is a championship level goalkeeper.
Okay, that is
It's
true.
sad to say. I don't like delegating players, but still, championship is still a high quality. It's better than most of the leagues in Europe. So
Yeah. If
Kudos.
I'm not mistaken, I think they have one of the worst defensive records in the league.
yeah, well, I think that's also because
They lost Rafinha as well.
they're vetting in a new center back.
No, yeah.
They don't really have that many center back options to begin with. Like if Johnny Evans is out, they struggle.
Yeah.
I think also the issue with Tielemans is that there was so many rumors of is he going in, is he going out, who's rotating with him, what's the deal here? I think not having a definite plan with him stunts the development of the team because you don't know if you'll be playing with him or without him,
That's true.
which needs to be decided from the get-go.
No, but they definitely have the players. They have the talent in their team. It's just they just have to. I think bringing in new managers will majority get to solve their problems if they find a new structure. You know.
I mean, here's the thing. If we're going to talk about in regards of Bournemouth, talk about one of the most like low-key, under-the-radar signings to pop up. We had Ryan Christie coming from Celtic.
Yeah.
And everyone thought he was going to be half decent. Like, nothing spectacular from him.
Oh, definitely.
But he's been a top performer for Bournemouth, and everyone thought that was going to be a Thomas Solanke. Everyone thought it was going to be a Tavernier, but Christie's really starting to show his growth, you know?
No, yeah, and another top performer they have is Billing. Billing just been on fire this season.
Well, I mean, Billing has been with them for a while,
No, yeah.
and everyone knows he's a great midfield talent. And I think now, especially under the new manager, I don't know if it's just a new manager bounce or if Gary O'Neill actually has a stake in what's going on right now. But the way how he's been able to help the team bounce back from, especially a 9-0 loss to Liverpool,
No, yeah.
I think it's just kudos to him, you know?
Yeah. That's respect to him. Yeah. But
I mean, this is probably the team where you could say that the signings made have actually properly gelled in finally.
No, yeah.
Whereas, like, Nottingham Forest, talk about later, not really. But
yeah.
next result, we have Chelsea 3-0 to Wolves. Now, Havertz with a goal, Pulisic with a goal, and the Albanian himself, the man, Broja. I don't like Chelsea, but guess what? My sheepes, Ekuchezi, we thrive. All right, we're on here. All right, we don't care about the Americans. Who cares about the Americans in the Prem, bro?
Oh, yeah.
It's the sheep ours, my guy. Let's go. Come on.
No, yeah. Graham Potter definitely he's just been on fire lately. I don't know.
Well, Graham Potter, I think he's been able to be like, okay, this is what I have.
Yeah.
Let me figure out a system and let me make it work.
Oh, yeah. And he definitely made it work fast. It's just, I don't know. I think
Because-
it's really brilliant from him.
I don't know. It's just such a weird thing. Like, Maz was on last week, and he'll say time and time again, it made no sense with Tuchel. I feel like everyone's still, like, just brushing over Thomas Tuchel being fired. Like, it made no sense how you have Tuchel through all the summer transfer window.
No.
You have him for the first few games, and it's like, oh, you know what made all this recruitment around Tuchel, but now Tuchel's gone.
Oh, yeah.
So now you're giving him a team that he has to basically solve a jigsaw puzzle with. So,
Like, but what I'm saying is like, I think he's doing very well in doing that. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, of course, and that's sort of like the point I was defending and making is that
Yeah.
there's all these things happening around it and behind it,
No, yeah.
and then now we have like everything that's going on with it. That's sort of going well. But do you think that this result happened because Chelsea have finally found their form, or because Wolves has just been horrendous and they finally sacked Bruno Lage? Which is also another thing. We already had 3 Premier League managers sacked. We had Scott Parker, Thomas Tuchel, and now it's Bruno Lage. Bruno Lage, rightfully so. Tuchel, like, you know, 50-50. And Scott Parker, he shouldn't have even been in the job to begin with.
I mean, it was a very comfortable victory. I mean, yes, still okay. Wolves have been pretty like bad this season, but they had a really good defensive record in the beginning of the season.
But they've also had a lot of injuries.
And a lot of
So
injuries
I
as well.
think here's the thing. Every time we talk about a bad result, we can say, yeah, the team played bad.
Yeah.
But we also have to give notice to the fact that injuries do play a huge factor.
No, you don't.
Because when you have a starting team, no matter what sport, whether it's the NFL, whether it's the NBA, and whether it's any other sport you want to talk about, your starting team is very, very crucial. But guys, we had someone walk in. He's been waiting to make his Matchweek appearance for a long time. He was here when we had the live studio audience who randomly showed up on us. It is the one, the only, X gonna give it to you, Xavier. X,
Hey,
how we doing?
I'm doing good.
So just to give you a recap of what we talked about so far, X, we've had talked about Mbappe. Button. The thing is that we talked about the factors that he could possibly be leaving, whether it's locker room, whether it's personal player, or whether it's, Qatari business group having issues with some of his decisions, personal life. And we sort of made our stance on that. Also just to make that abundantly clear, we have no issues with any transgender people out there. We 110% support you. Live your life. Do what you want to do. We don't judge. But now we're also on Prem wrap up. We talked about, just to give you a little recap, we talked about Bournemouth, Leicester. Mm-hmm. Chelsea Wolves were on right now. So Chelsea won 3-0. And I gave a huge shout out to Broya the Albanian because Albanians run the world.
All right. I mean, if we're talking about Chelsea, I find it very amazing Graham Potter's undefeated record he's got going right now.
Yeah.
Because people, I don't think, really thought, people were calling him, Harry Potter and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but guess what?
Brighton he's
a wizard, my guy, because the way how he's able to make these teams perform.
People were saying that it was a fluke, though, because look at Brighton now.
I have been on the Potter bandwagon since last season, okay? Because when I had an argument with one of our recurring guests, Besmir, on here, the resident Chelsea fan, I was making the case how there's no way how for manager of the season last season, you don't give it to either Eddie Howe or Graham Potter.
Graham Potter deserved it. I think, any person.
Eddie Howe with bringing Newcastle up from bottom of the league all the way up to
I would say I would agree with that, but I also, the only reason why I give it to Graham is because of the fact that Graham didn't have oil money.
No, but no. You can't say oil money when they only made three signings, where it was Matty Target, Bruno Guimaraes, and it was...
Those are world class.
Who's a striker? I forgot the name. Chris Wood.
Yeah, Chris Wood.
No,
not Chris Wood, but I'm talking Bruno is a world class Brazilian player. Yeah, you're never signing him.
Bruno Guimaraes is the one argument for yes, oil money, yes, give him a contract.
And that's why I'm saying Brighton has... former bakery players, bakery owners that played for them, and Graham Potter was able to transform the local pub guys into top from Sunday League to top tier.
Do not fall for the trap that is selling a story for sports. Brighton have a lot of investment, they have a lot of money behind them, but they invest it smart, which is what Newcastle is doing right now. I want to make this abundantly clear. Any soccer club, when they do their money right, they follow the City plan. The way how Manchester City became a club is plain and simple. Man City got their money, invested it all into the club itself. Into the fields, into scouting, into the youth academy, into every type of development plan possible. That's how it starts. Then they go into the players. Then they go into the management, and everything goes from there to where it's a well-oiled random machine. What'd you drop over there, bud?
Hey, I try to throw my beats in my bag and completely missed. I know, but I wanted to not forget them because I have a very bad habit of forgetting things. And my mom always says, if my head wasn't connected to my shoulders, I'd probably lose my head.
Yeah.
And she's not wrong. She really isn't wrong. So I'll give my mom a shout out on that. Give me one sec.
No worries. But that's the thing, so Brighton, I would not. Them and Brentford are the same. They have smart owners. All the money's being invested properly, and we're going to see more investment in the future than just right now.
No, yeah, definitely.
So that's how I would just say it there. But yes, Chelsea, we were just talking about how, do you think that Chelsea had a great performance, or do you think it was just Wolves suffering from too many injuries and they're still figuring out what's going on with the new manager?
That I would chalk it up to more or less is obviously Chelsea has been performing. If you look at their Champions League performances, it would lead you to believe otherwise, but in league wise, they're decently informed.
Yeah, but just for Champions League regards, Graham Potter's never had a Champions League stint yet.
Yeah.
I think someone who has to learn how to win a one-off game. I mean, granted, he did a lot with Brighton, having to look, we need the points right now, or else we're close to relegation. I think he can do that if he treats it as the same mindset of this is where we need to win. But in regards to playing in Europe, it's a whole different beast. There's managers who are only good at performing in Europe, and there's managers who are only good at performing in a league. We see this with Antonio Conte. We see this with Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola has not won a Champions League since he was at Barcelona. And he's had some phenomenal sides behind him, yes or no, boys?
Yes.
Oh, unreal sides.
But here's the thing. That Barcelona side is considered one of the best teams to ever play. Let's be 110% real. Okay. That team, you gotta understand, that team beat Manchester United twice.
Yeah, and
both without Ronaldo, and yet they were still insane.
Yeah, those teams were, I would say, like, who was at that time? He had Messi,
David Villa, and Messi, David Villa, and who was the third attacker for them, boys?
David Villa. They had Iniesta.
No, but it wasn't Alexis Sanchez up front. I'm trying to think who was the third. Was it Pedro at the time?
Hold on,
it might have been Pedro. I think that's a shout. Pep winning Barcelona side where Messi scored 90 goals. That's all you gotta look. That's still, dude. I think Haaland could have a 90 goal season. To be perfectly honest, I think he could beat Messi. 100, yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Why does it keep showing me Man City stuff?
Just go to Barcelona team 2009. 2009.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go.
That's all you gotta do.
Here we go.
Here we go. We're Fabrizio Romano. Yo, the amount of little jingles I've made
Thierry
today.
Henry. How did we forget that?
Oh my God.
How did we forget that? Messi, Henry,
and
Eto'o.
Oh,
wow.
That team, when you think, and Eto'o won the Ballon d'Or that year.
Did he?
I think he won.
I thought Messi won it for
I think it was that year he won.
Because Barcelona won it 2009 and they won it 2011. I think Inter won
was that Inter? Or I don't know.
No, well, I think because Inter won it in 2010. They won the treble where Messi stole the Ballon d'Or from Wesley Sneijder. I'll say that till the day I die.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
No, dude, if you win a treble and you are the top creator in your league, where you have the most goals and most combined goals and assists in the league.
I also think that the only issue with the Ballon d'Or is that it's not like an MVP in like our leagues where it's like if your team's winning and you got the stats and you got the highlights, you get the award. I think more or less because it's a French award and the French have such a prestige about all their awards, it's almost like a highlight reel thing.
Yeah,
it's like who could put up the craziest highlight reel possible with the stats.
I think that's been the issue of it lately. It used to be a highly respected reward with the voting and because it used to be players vote, manager vote, and reporter votes. And then they would also have a little skew depending on what was voted and how it was voted in those regards. But nowadays, when you see that Lewandowski gets scrapped for Messi to win a Ballon d'Or, that's when you see like
that's why he went to Barcelona himself, because he truly thinks that his move to Barcelona is gonna be what gets him his golden ball.
That's true.
But it's not gonna happen, I don't think, because you're gonna have to face against Kareem still.
Well, no, here's the thing: he missed out twice. He missed out when they canceled it, and then he missed out where they gave it to Messi instead of him.
When they canceled it, he was supposed to win it.
Oh yeah,
the year they canceled it because of COVID.
That's insane.
There was nobody else that deserved it more than him.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of different players were saying like, no, he is the most deserving player of that award that year, and that the fact that they scrapped it.
That's insane.
I mean, okay, so getting off our tangent, going back to Prem wrap up, because we still have another hour and a half to talk about anything and everything we want.
Mm-hmm.
So Chelsea 3-0. Wolves, also real quick, Wolves with Diego Costa. Like,
that's what I was just gonna ask you. What's your feeling on that acquirement of getting him out of retirement?
He wasn't retired. He was a free agent. No one wanted him.
I mean,
but
you're just cruising around living life. That's pretty much retirement.
No, but here's the thing. Well, because no one wanted to sign him. Because Wolves, every striker they've signed so far, and they were relying on this season, all have gotten injuries. Sesko, the 6'6" striker who was supposed to be nutty for them, torn ACL first game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Raul Jimenez has sadly been suffering through injuries nonstop at the club, and I feel so sorry for him.
No, I don't know. I think it's a striker role. They need a striker. Like,
yeah, but they thought that was going to be Sesko. They thought that he was going to be that ball dominant aerial winner who can hold up the play or either score.
The thing is, the players they have behind them, it's Traore, Podence, Guedes.
Gonzalo Guedes.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, Steven. You should have the accent down a bit, bro. Like, you really should.
Guedes, yeah, and then Moutinho. I mean, like, they have players behind them to score, but like all the.
Here's my question. what do we think about? Wait, where do we think about Ruben Neves not being in this lineup for this game?
So that I think that's due to the fact that he may be looking for a move out in Jan.
Well, okay,
And a lot of teams in the Prem would love to take a Ruben Neves onto their team. He's a deep line creative player who could go and hunt down a ball. And after that, he's connecting those long
no, but here's my
passes.
question. Do we know if it's an injury or something? Because he's not even in the lineup.
And that's why I said I think I obviously they'll give the injury tag, but I do think it's more or less.
He's not even tagged for injury. The only players that are tagged for injury is Chiquinho, Pedro Neto, Raul Jimenez, Kalisic, aka Sasko, I call him, and Collins was suspended. Collins was a big miss for them in the back as well.
No, I know that. What I'm saying is he may not have a tag or anything. People will question it why he wasn't a part of the team at all. And once that question comes up, the interim coach will probably say, "Oh, he had a really severe injury that kept him out, and it was a last minute decision or something that we didn't."
Ronaldo and say personal problems.
Yeah, or personal problems. But at the end of the day, it's almost like benching a player because he's leaving the team.
Which was also the discussion we had with Leicester and Yuri Tillemans for the longest time, because they didn't know if he was leaving, they didn't know if he was staying.
Yep.
Which is a big problem.
And I think that's where the situation is with Ruben, is that you just fired your head coach again, and after all the nonsense they went through just to get a coach this season, or was it last season, where they kept trying to get a head coach and every coach was like, "Nah, I'm okay."
Well, but here's my question. What do we think about these few players starting for Chelsea, though, and yet still getting a victory?
I think Mason Mount.
Trevor Chalobah, Azpilicueta, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Conor Gallagher starting over a Reece James, a Mateo Kovacic, a Broja, a Ziyech, a Chilwell, a Aubameyang, a Sterling.
They're resting. Simple.
Are they resting? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, they did have a Champions League fixture in the midweek.
I think it's just Graham Potter trying to figure out his team,
I agree
it's
with you.
more of that.
Okay.
I think he played a totally different side last Premier League game, and it's just he's trying to find his his players, you know what I mean?
I mean, granted, no Conte because of injury, obviously.
Yeah.
But also, Wesley Fofana is currently injured at the moment again.
Well, his was serious, I think, in the Champions League. He had a boot and crutches on.
I
So
know, because the thing is that he comes back from an ACL injury, ready to play for a new club, and now he has a knee injury again.
Yeah.
So
Chabala's miles.
no, okay. Well, I'm gonna say this right now.
Trevor, I think, asked
His older brother's
asked
better.
to leave.
His older brother's better. I'm gonna
I
say
think
right
Trevor
now.
asked to leave this summer.
Yeah.
He was trying to get a last minute move out of Chelsea, and they rejected it.
They rejected it.
He didn't think he was gonna get a start. That's why.
No, that's why.
Because
But he even asked for a loan. At least if you're not going to play him, put him out on loan, let him develop still.
Well, here's the thing.
Completely
Chelsea
shut down
here's the
everything.
thing. Chelsea like to just sell their best players, right, Thomas?
yeah.
They've had Tamori, they've had Rudiger.
That one blows me to this
Tammy.
day. I can't believe that.
Don't get me wrong. Tamori has never been he is sort of a more aggressive center back. He's not the best with his ball at his feet, but that's still a raw talent. You don't just let go on a sale.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's where it's a 2-year loan or with something. There's no way you should let him leave. Because look at him at AC Milan.
Top
I
tier.
mean, they get a red card.
It doesn't matter.
He
has
been class though. I will
He's
say
allowed
that.
a red card.
He has been class.
Wait,
yes.
you said red card, but come on. The world's greatest center back in the world is the king of red cards. He just got one in the French league again this week. Ramos just loves collecting
It was so
red
funny.
cards.
Everyone's El Clasico's going on. Real Madrid and Barca are fighting. Meanwhile, the two best captains that ever exist for those clubs are just sitting out on the sideline saying, "What's good, homie?"
Yeah, you got to think I think when he retires, he has to take on a red card in his last match and not actually be sent off field. Just be given a red card just for it, get it signed by the ref, and then keep it and frame it because he is the king of red cards.
This sounds like some Sidemen charity match antics now. It's just
it's the truth. Have him go out
okay,
Steve.
so boys, we have a lot of games to catch up with, so we gotta go over it. Man City 4-0 against Southampton. Southampton, I felt bad for a bit in this game because they've been developing so well. They have probably some of the best young center backs right now in Salisu, Bella. There's one more. I'm blanking on the name right now. I'm looking it up.
I don't feel bad for them because their Twitter account literally posted a picture of Man City's last 5 games, and they were like, we'll take this challenge on. I was like, you guys are idiots. Why even set yourself up for that one? You're asking Haaland to have a hat trick at that point.
The other center back I was thinking of, the one they just brought in was I'm gonna mess up this name. Kaltakar from Marseille, I think it was. He came from Ligue 1.
Mm-hmm.
And look, this is a young team, and even when they played against United, they looked really, really impressive. They have Aribo, who they just signed from Rangers.
Yeah.
They have Adam Armstrong as per usual. Che Adams looking great. I mean, Adam Armstrong, I'm a little concerned for because they bought him from Blackburn Rovers a little while back, and he's been iffy. He's been iffy, and then honestly, not starting Elianusi or not even having like Maitland-Niles in the team makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I think Southampton's going for the long run.
They are but
Definitely.
here's the thing: this team isn't young though, because you still have Stuart Armstrong in, who's 30. You still have Adam Armstrong in. Like he's 25.
Yeah, but with the recent signings, they've been
recent signings make sense.
They definitely going for that long-term project.
I mean, here's the thing: Bella Kotchap's 20. He's gonna get called up for the World Cup. Like plain and simple. Who's
his national team?
German. He's German, and he's been looking insane for Germany.
And what, midfield?
No, he's a center back.
You know what's crazy? I signed him FIFA 19 career mode.
Get out of here.
And he went up to 90
ratings. See that door you can leave, bro.
No.
That's cap. I
have it.
2019 is how long ago, okay? Like, come on.
You're
not going to sell that.
I think it was 20. I think it was 20. Yeah.
No,
I'll check
if we're talking,
see, the FIFA time has changed.
I'll take a picture of it. I promise you. I have it at home in my career mode.
My favorite.
That's your assignment for tonight. You're going to text me this, and in the post edit right now, Ardi, make a small clip here, either approving or disapproving of Steven.
I will.
I could say that my favorite not ultimate team, my team signing on FIFA as of recently, I think it was probably 21, has to be Yoskov Yog. I can't say his name. He plays center back and left back for Leipzig.
Okay.
I think Chelsea actually made a stab at trying to sign him after all the defenders they had signed.
Yeah.
Guardiola, that's his name.
Oh, Gavardio?
Gavardio.
Oh,
left-footed center back, can play
30,
at the
he's
left
30.
back.
Chelsea's gonna
Tall,
sign him, man. I'm really
strong,
disappointed about it.
speed. He could play the ball at his feet. That's somebody that I wanted Manchester United to take a stab at signing before they signed Malacia, who turned out to be
Malacia.
He's turned out to be a pretty decent.
The one thing I love about Malacia is that he's given Luke Shaw a challenge to be like, hey, your position is not guaranteed anymore. Like, step up.
I think Shaw just quite possibly fought back for his position this past week.
And for England, he had a great performance against Germany.
Yep.
He was like one of the only few half decent players. I think also not having a Harry Maguire on that side sort of shows how Luke Shaw is no longer worried about having to cover the center anymore all the time.
Yeah.
But there's still obviously some defensive issues with not having Rafael Varane start all the time because of injuries, and
he's actually injured today.
Yes.
I got a notification. He did not practice with the team. He practiced with
the physios
by himself on a different field.
Yep, makes sense. That's someone where you have to just protect, save them for when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
Against Man City, if he didn't get injured, I think the scoreline's a bit different because obviously Manchester United won the second half. They won 3-2. So United takes 3 points for the second half.
I mean, that's the only thing I had to go on because trust me, I was watching that and I was thinking to myself, I don't think he does a hat trick.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
No.
The guy's a machine.
So, yeah
he's crazy.
insane. But, I mean, that's the thing, right? So we're on the Man City topic right now. For Haaland right now, timing is perfect for him because he gets to play for Man City a little bit longer, gets a 5-week break because of the World Cup, comes back, and then he's just going to be flying again because he's had to be able to rest.
Only problem is I recently saw on the timeline is that he's injured again.
Supposedly.
Who, Haaland?
Yes. So they recently, within the last 24 to 48, was supposedly said to be injured, so he might be sitting out this upcoming weekend. And people are now saying, here comes Haaland, Mr. Injury Man. He scores a lot, but he's missed a lot of games throughout his career.
Yeah, but for Dortmund, the first season was a legit injury.
Mm-hmm.
The second season was, I'm injured because he didn't want to actually get injured for himself at City.
Mm-hmm.
So he took a couple knocks, took a couple of games off. But even so, if Haaland misses 4 games, so what? Let's be real. So what?
yeah, so
He scored 24 and 28 appearances in the Bundesliga.
My question becomes, though, are you afraid that Arsenal comes in and makes a run at your first place spot? Or wait, does Arsenal
I'm
even
not gonna
still
lie.
hold that?
They do.
No,
but-
Arsenal still holds it.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. If Arsenal can lose against United, where they got figured out tactically, all it takes is another manager who's a really good tactician to throw Arteta for a loop. Because honestly, I think that's Arsenal's only downside besides injuries happening, is if someone like a Ten Hag is gonna challenge Arteta's brain and make him have to think about, oh, how am I gonna change up the team because he's constantly switching stuff. Like someone who's gonna challenge his brain mentally is gonna be the one that's gonna get one over him.
Hey man, who's better than the the teacher himself?
Yeah, Pep Guardiola. That's the thing. Like mind games will be happening in that match,
It's definitely gonna be a good game.
Okay, so I do have a question for you guys.
and I have an answer for you.
All three of you, I want to hear your opinions on this, all right? So the conversation now is that Haaland this summer may be stolen. That there's a possible release clause, which Pep came out and said, there's no release clause. There's no release clause. But Real Madrid is Real Madrid. It's like if Barcelona comes calling, like I think even Marcus Rashford had said it once in his career, early in his career, like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm with Manchester United. That's as high as you can go. But that next stratosphere, there's only two teams that tops that. Man City can't even put themselves in the same category.
Well,
like they've been starting to win.
They can't until they win a Champions League. That's been their biggest issue because
Yeah.
they've won so many league titles. But unlike the other side of Manchester, you know,
We've got everything.
We won the Prem and we won the Champions League.
We've got the only treble in England.
You see, I love how like this is like flowing through my veins that Man United propaganda I can finally throw on this.
You're
show.
welcome. You
Because
are welcome.
most of the time it's like I have to be rational. Artie, you're
No,
the host.
not
you
at
have
all.
to be okay.
Not
like, you know,
at all,
be a
Art.
neutral. Right now, I could say, ha ha, I'm laughing at all of you. United's better.
No, I
But
did read
no.
about the Holland clause, but
Yeah.
I think it's active in 2024.
Okay,
if I'm
so
mistaken.
all
They
right,
have
so
time.
2024
But
they
if-
have some
if-
time.
if
Do
I'm
you guys
Holland-
think
if I'm
he
Holland,
leaves?
I would wait until he's like 26.
No,
Do you think
I would,
he leaves?
I would stay in the Premier League and break the record. Simple.
Yeah, like most goals scored, break Alan Shearer's record. That's the most coveted record in all of football.
I think he could definitely make history in the Premier League, and just I don't know, he could be considered like one of the
But
greats.
but City's the side where I can guarantee him winning a Champions League now because he's there.
I don't know.
I don't think he goes to Real Madrid because someone else is going to be going to Real Madrid.
Who?
And that's
Mbappe might be going.
That I don't believe. I do understand now that he wants to leave again. You know, there's that open possibility, but I don't think Real's what's his name? Basically their GM.
Oh, Florentino Perez.
Florentino
yeah.
Perez already came out after what happened this summer
Yeah,
with the
but-
loop that Mbappe put them through. I'm
that's
coming.
just-
I'm
no,
on my
no,
way.
no,
and then last week,
that's just-
you know what? I'm
No,
going to
no,
get
no,
all
no,
of
no,
France,
no, no,
basically, so I'm not going to go.
Because Florentino Perez messed up because he had a deal agreed, and he switched it up last second because he wanted Mbappe's image rights. He wanted 50% of Mbappe's image
Yeah,
rights.
that's where he messed up.
And then also, Florentino Perez, if he wants something, he'll get it in the future. He doesn't care. Like, he'll say one thing and then be a hypocrite and say another thing. That's the one man whose word you cannot
The man
trust.
gets what he wants. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, he's a little bit forceful in it. I'm a little concerned. And, you know,
I mean, the word has came out now recently since the announcement that our boys and Richard Arnold has came out and said that there is a possibility that they're going to do what they did with Ronaldo to keep him from going to City, which I thought was already a bluff just to get him back into the Prem to us. They're going to do something unprecedented to put major money bags on the table to try to make a stab at Mbappe. Because Mbappe's a diehard Ronaldo fan.
yeah.
You have
Here's
us
the thing.
winning now.
Yeah, but that's the-
Antony
this
is saying,
Antony, yes.
he's talking so much good about how Ronaldo is being a role model to the younger cast of players. And if you bring in Mbappe and you have Ronaldo, imagine that split. You have Mbappe
Yes.
sometimes, you
But
get Ronaldo, and you have that management.
Before we dovetail too much into a different topic, I will say this. It all depends on how they perform this season. If they get either a Europa League or they get like a top 3 finish, I think that can put them up there in the conversation.
But it's
But
a January move.
Yeah, but
Or he's trying to push for January.
That's not going to happen in January. There's no
There's no
shot.
team that's gonna buy
There's no shot.
way.
in the January.
There's no
window.
way. No team is going to be able to do it in January.
That's too much money.
I mean, post World Cup, maybe. We don't know. But still, I don't see that being a January move. It's impossible to be a January move. There's too many moving parts. There's too much money involved for it to be a January move.
Definitely.
Fair enough. So y'all all agree that you don't see the move happening for Haaland.
No. But who does make moves is Newcastle. And they are riding high off a 5-1 victory against Brentford, which is really impressive. I think people underestimate Brentford, and Brentford have been looking really, really good.
Oh, they definitely have a very more strong squad. As of I think Alan St. Maximin came back.
Yeah, but I have a question here.
Playing amazing.
Do we think that Gareth Southgate is being very disrespectful and not calling up Ivan Toney?
No, he did call him up. He just didn't play him.
Yeah,
that's the disrespect.
No, but the real call up. That's not a call up. That's just being there.
I say it is a real call up, and I don't think it's full disrespect, because if you want to talk real call up missing and real disrespect, you're talking about Leicester City's main man in the middle, James Maddison.
Yeah.
How do you have a lack of a center attacking midfielder? That is the problem for England. It's not like you don't have wingers. You have wingers.
No,
you have
but
one of the greatest strikers.
The issue is
and
that
you don't have a man in the middle that could get that ball to them.
Here's the issue. England play with a 5 at the back. They play with 2 midfielders.
Oh my god.
And then the 3 forwards technically
Mm-hmm.
is it's Kane, it's Saka or Sterling, and then Mason Mount is there. He plays like a right forward, but he's ever flowing in the middle. So I don't mind him giving respect to Mason Mount because he has familiarity with him. Yeah. He's been in the side. He plays that certain way at Chelsea as well at times.
Yeah.
But there's too much favoritism happening in this England side. We see it with Harry Maguire, who I will bash on till the day I die.
Of course. I will join you in that.
But there is times where I feel like we're bullying him, and I don't feel like
I don't feel like he's made such ridiculous comments.
Yeah, he's made statements where it's like, oh, if the gaffers keep me in, then something must be working.
No. His one statement recently that came out through other sources. Oh, the reason why I was playing bad was lack of good communication with David De Gea. David's been living in England for over a decade. He can speak perfect English. What do you mean he can't communicate?
He has played with Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic.
There's no way.
Oh, yeah, you're going to tell me this guy's not to communicate with a back line?
And that was back when he was young. So he was still learning English at the time.
He's played with one of the best English center backs in the world right now, Chris Smalling.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I'm gonna put
what
that
about
aside.
Pickford and Maguire?
No. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe that's why what Maguire needs. He needs himself a good old Englishman.
No,
Pickford.
No. I think for England, I'd be excited for goalkeepers because you have Pope,
Pickford.
Pickford deserves a shout, even though he made some mistakes over the weekend to allow United to score a goal, like coming off his line too early, like pressing up. But also Aaron Ramsdale. I think for the sheer fact he's someone who communicates very well, organizes the back line, and his distribution is on point. Yeah. His shot stopping ability has been a little off lately, which I think why someone like Nick Pope, who's like 6'5", can reach the balls in places where it's like easy for him. So that's where it's going to be a tough part to really understand, develop. But what do we think about Kieran Trippier maybe having to play at left back for England in the World Cup? Over maybe a Chilwell, or Chilwell starts over him.
Trippier I thought he played for Scotland.
No, Trippier doesn't play for Scotland.
Is it? He plays for England? I thought
he plays for England.
X, I'm not gonna lie, you just exposed yourself on this show.
No, I really
can't save you. I really can't save you.
No, actually, you know why? I'm thinking of who's the dude that plays for Arsenal?
Tierney. Okay,
Tierney. That's why.
I'll let that slide. Okay, you know what? I'll let it slide.
Yeah.
He was thinking about a real Scotsman.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I was
okay.
like, Kieran Trippier, he plays for Scotland.
No, you're good because I didn't mention him at left back. I confused you a bit, so you saved yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But real quick, you're listening, top of the hour, on WMSC, Upper Montclair. Now back to you, X.
All right.
You're drowning. You don't have that much time.
Trippier, I believe that, I guess it's the age and experience thing. It's the age and experience
But do you
thing.
think
And
also-
if you're playing a back five, you need that.
Why does he have to play left back? That's my
Well,
question.
because there's no way he plays right back over Kyle Walker, over Reece James.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker's injured. I'm pretty sure Trent's
Yeah, but
injured.
he's
I think
injured
Reece
for a
is
few
injured
days
as
right
well.
now.
Kyle Walker won't play that right back.
I don't think he's gonna play right
He'll play
back.
center back.
Yeah,
To be
but
honest with you,
also-
in this moment right now, I would play Kieran Trippier.
Okay, but
all of
also
them. Or Reece James.
okay, so I didn't want to talk about this yet because I wanted to wait till the Liverpool game. But what about Trent? There's no way you.
He's so god awful
so bad.
currently.
Yeah, but I know, but with how England plays, he doesn't have to defend. Like he's,
I mean,
I
Yeah,
just don't.
you have
I
to
don't.
back
I don't
side.
see him. I don't see him in his side. I don't know. I just see Reece James or Trippier. in that right back.
that's the thing. We're all thinking logically.
But
And
we have to think. But here's the thing: Southgate
you think
doesn't
like
like
Southgate-
him either.
yeah.
Yeah, but Southgate doesn't like him either.
I-
He calls him up, but he doesn't play him.
I don't know. It's kind of hard. The English media, they love Trent, especially him
here's the
being winning that Champions League with Liverpool. People won't put past his passing ability. His ability to
Yes,
whip
so
that ball into
what
the
I will
box is
say-
what people love to see.
I will say is that Trent, when he was developing as a youth, was a midfielder. He was an 8/10, played in the middle, liked being a ball progressor. That was his thing.
Yeah.
For Liverpool, he made his debut. He had to play right back so he can get minutes. And because he did it so well for such a long time with so much cover around him, it's the Maguire effect. When you have people covering for all of your little mistakes, you can look good.
Definitely.
But Trent, the best way how I explain Trent all the time, and people used to make fun of me for it, is as if David Beckham played right back. Plain and simple. if Bexy played right back, he'd be playing exactly like
The man
this.
has no
He would-
defensive
He
coverage.
would not
Like,
run
it's just-
back. I mean, he would run back, but like he wouldn't be like solid defensively. He wouldn't know how to really control himself. Like
I mean,
he's more of a forward than he is a defender.
I think it just depends on how Southgate just plans his team out.
But then again, does a Livramento deserve a shout at right back? He's been injured for Southampton. I understand that, but
no, the right back position. I think that right back position is locked up by Reece James. His performance for Chelsea in both league and cup in turns, it's too much. You just got the new huge deal too from Chelsea in the contract extension. It'd be a real slap in the face. He's probably England's best defender currently.
He is England's I think he's just their best position. Like right now in that position, he's their best player for now.
Not just that position. I think he is the best period defender they have. Point blank period, best defender. You got to think if you're always starting Maguire in the back and John Stones, who's always hurt, so he's not reliable.
Yeah.
Come on. Think about it, you're right. Yeah, I think it definitely is up there.
Hey Thomas, what do you think of Ben Godfrey not getting a shout from you boys?
Hasn't he been hurt though? He's been hurt for a little bit.
He ACL injury last season, and this season he got cleared out.
Yeah.
Against a couple of teams, they've just been abusing him.
I think the only way he can fit in this Everton squad is if we play 3 at the back or like a 5 at the back.
Yeah, because you guys have
we have Tarkowski,
Tarkowski,
and
Connor Cody
now that are playing out of their minds.
Well, that's another thing for England. Does Tarkowski get a call up? Does Ben Mee get a call up?
I
Does
think
Connor
Ben
Cody?
White deserves a call.
No.
Ben White. Well, that's also.
I think he's been
Ben White, that was my other point.
If Ivan Toney can't get in that team, none of the players you just named will ever or deserve it. Ivan Toney is the best low end team player England's got, and he can't even get a touch on the field.
Callum Wilson is up there, but he's also really injury prone.
And Callum Wilson is not better than any of the attacking players they already have, though.
I mean, he's on the same level. You can't say he's not a consistent goal scorer.
But he's not. Just because you score goals, England's problem is not always that they can't score goals, because you have Harry Kane. The man could score almost at any angle.
I don't know.
It's more or less the delivery
internationally, though.
No, I think the reason why is because of delivery. England doesn't have a creative player that could deliver the ball.
But that's why they've been arguing for Trent a lot, though.
I know, because you said yourself that they bring in Mason Mount to the cutting inside to be the person that's cutting in and trying to make the passes. And he's not that kind of guy.
Do you think Declan Rice and Bellingham are not enough in the midfield?
No, they're not.
They're good.
No.
But they're both so young. I think they're both just really young.
No, I don't think it's young. What he was about to say, I think is true. International play is different from club play.
Yeah.
Different managers, different,
And they have different players around them. Jude does not have to create as much for Dortmund. He doesn't have to be the one to create the goals. He can if he wants, but he's more of he starts the passing off. He's like, I'm trying to think of, He's like David Silva for Man City. He's not the one creating always. It's De Bruyne. But David Silva's the guy who'll track back, get the ball, and then he starts spraying the passes around. And I think that's
at that moment of time, I think De Bruyne was doing that more because Silva was playing more in the attacking third. He's like a De Bruyne, but he doesn't have the 5-star weak foot yet. That's the best way to explain it.
Okay, fair enough. And then Declan Rice's issue is he's just a brick house. He's the defender in the midfield that you want him to just disrupt everything. He's speed.
Recovery speed, yeah.
No, I mean like speed in the Sidemen charity match.
No. That's disrespectful.
I'm trying to be facetious, but like he's the guy that he's going in and he's blowing people up kind of stuff.
He's more like Sergio Busquets. That's how I see it.
There you go. Yeah,
how dare you?
I agree.
Sergio Busquets is the most sham footballer to ever play.
All right, but what is Declan Rice?
The man has benefited so much from Xavi and Iniesta, and you're gonna tell me he's a good footballer? Get out of here. Get out of here.
All right. That's a little bit.
He's a staple. He's a staple.
He's a sham.
All right.
But he didn't have to. He's like, what is that? I'm trying to think of a word.
As a Real Madrid fan, I respect Sergio Busquets, if I'll be honest.
No.
Come
he's
on.
Oh my
Xabi
God.
Alonso better, plain and simple.
I mean, yes, they are, but he's right. Like Busquets didn't have to do. It's like there's certain players that don't have to do the extra stuff.
He's a system player.
Yes, there you go.
I was trying to think of a word.
He's a system player.
An important player.
Slots right in there.
Okay,
and he does what he has to do.
I will say he's a system player, but don't you dare say he was that good.
He was a system player, like I said.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like Rice is going to be the same
He played
thing
a part.
in that. Rice is going to be the same thing in that England squad. He's going to
He's the
slot
guy
right
in the
there.
group
He's gonna do
project
it.
that, like, get a little bit.
You guys have used the right words to calm me down. I'll take it.
He's true. It's true, and that's the problem with England is that you have a system player that's a defensive player only in Declan Rice. You have Jude that's good, but he's not what everybody has made him out to be since he bursted onto the scene as an English player.
I think he needs a better role.
Dude, he's 17, 18.
But that's because I really think he's 19 now.
Yeah, 19,
he's 19
but
now.
still,
and I think the biggest issue though is because he's still at Dortmund. In the competition, I think in the Bundesliga, it's starting to get better. Let me not try to disrespect the Bundesliga, but it's still.
By the way, on the show, it's referred to as the Bayern Liga.
Okay, because that's what I was just about to say. Is like the domination of Bayern is it lacks in the EPL, which I still think, even though they lack of the Champions League wins besides recently with Liverpool, I still think English Premier League is the best league in the European
It's the most competitive.
world.
I think that's sort of the issue, though.
But look,
I
have
think
Erling
that's-
Haaland over here making the Premier League.
Here we go with this
looking
debate.
like a baby league. Come on, and we got Lewandowski making La Liga look like a baby league. I think it's like.
But the the difference is Haaland's making defenders look silly. Agreed. But
Look
is
at
City
Sadio
number
Mane
one?
in the
Is
Bundesliga, though.
City number one? Is City top of the table? When Bayern had Lewandowski, what happened? Scored a lot. They were always top of the table. City is not even the best team in the league currently.
No,
That is
they are.
Arsenal.
No,
they are. But on the table,
on the
ranking,
yeah.
they are not the best team, and that's the thing. I would agree that we would start looking like the English Premier League would look like a farmers' league if City was so clear of everybody. Then it's like, okay, yeah, Haaland came in and just
right now in the
completely took them to that next
it's
league
not even Bayern
level.
first. It's Union Berlin first. That's the thing.
Yeah, at the current moment,
but that's
and we also have Freiburg up there. It's just it's actually becoming
And
I
I
guess
gave
you
them
could
their
say
credit.
competitive.
Yeah, they're starting. That's why I said they started. But the problem was Jude left England because he felt that he wasn't gonna.
Though. He was playing for
They
Bristol.
retired
And
his
that's
number.
the thing. But the thing was, he didn't think he would get the development in time in the Prem that he would playing for Dortmund.
Yeah.
Now you went to Dortmund and the competition isn't as high, so you're stuck at he's plateaued at a certain level. Now you need to go to either Prem or La Liga and push yourself.
I think the benefit though is playing in the Champions League.
Yeah,
He's
exactly. I think his
guaranteed
performance,
Champions League.
his best performance, actually come in the Champions League.
Exactly.
It's just, I think he
Because
proves himself there.
He is only as good as the competition he's up against.
Like watch him against Man City. It's just
Exactly.
he's class. He's class. Come on.
But also another thing, can we just talk about real quick how players like Calvin Phillips can like be bought for $50 million and just sit on the bench?
Nah, Calvin was really got out the radar. It's just
Well, because he was injured at Leeds.
Yeah, injury.
Went to City and now
Injury again.
He's injured, but still, how do you start over that midfield right now?
You don't start. You don't, and that's another reason why I don't think Jude goes to that team. That's another thing. Is like Holland's like, oh, I'm talking to Jude to come join me in City. That midfield, no one breaks into that midfield.
Here's the thing, because
come into Madrid. Come on.
No, but Foden's had to play at left
I don't even
wing.
think he breaks the midfield up in Madrid, to be honest.
Yeah, dude, Tchouaméni,
Camavinga,
Tchouaméni, and Valverde.
And
There's
Bellingham. Come on.
No, dude.
No, Valverde. You have Valverde.
Valverde. Never mind.
Valverde, dude, that's what I'm saying. Come on.
Doesn't, and that's why I hope that Manchester United makes us like Manchester United still has room to be broken up. Our midfield is okay,
but you know what the
we
issue
have
is?
35-year-old Casemiro now to be our starter.
He's 31.
He can. But you're telling me if you have the opportunity to have Casemiro come off the bench and have Jude Bellingham, Eriksen, and Bruno play together. Jude Bellingham is everything we
need to go to
want.
Liverpool.
He's everything we wanted Scott McTominay to be.
Everyone wait. So look, we're just going to hop right into the United game now. We're just going to do the discussions. We're going to do United and Arsenal Liverpool next.
Okay.
Manchester United won 2-1 against Everton.
3-1.
Okay, 3-1.
It was 3-1. I don't care what VAR said. It was 3-1.
Okay, we know our opinions. Steven and Thomas, what did you think about the third goal being?
I think Ronaldo deserves.
Hold on.
Ronaldo deserves to play. I think in that game.
No. I don't need that right now.
Oh, what do we need? What do we need?
The third goal that was disallowed.
Oh, the third goal?
By VAR.
Do you think it should have been disallowed? Yes or no?
This is the Rashford one.
Yeah, the one that.
Personally, I don't think it should have been disallowed.
Okay, Steven.
As an Everton fan. So as an Everton fan, watching that,
you just say that you were happy it was disallowed. You can say
I was happy that it was disallowed, but should have been disallowed. Probably not.
It didn't hit his hand. I don't know how it disallowed.
I'll explain the scenario for any of the listeners out there. So Marcus Rashford is running through on goal. He has a big slide tackle coming from, was it Tarkovsky?
I want to say it was Tarkovsky that came in last
big
second.
slide tackle coming in. He's jumping over the player so he doesn't get cleared out, so he can still run through on goal. Which, by the way, most players dive there.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have a diver in this room, but most players dive there.
He's mad that he lost.
No, you just like to dive in the Olympics.
Mad he
simple.
lost.
We're leaving it there, Xavier. Putting the pin on it. A lot of players will dive there, go to the floor, go to the ground, like, oh, I want the free kick. Rashford knows he's going to be through on goal. He runs through, and through natural positioning, because of how he's running and jumping, the ball like hits his hand a bit.
It didn't even hit his hand. I don't know. I didn't see it.
Like,
his hand.
It was like off his like arm.
It was like
here.
arm, upper arm.
It was like lower bicep to his.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like that's your natural position.
Yeah, but
that's your body.
I think that's also the biggest issue right now. There's too much inconsistency.
Yes.
No, definitely.
There's too much
with
situational.
the Gabriel handball.
Look, let's be honest. Unless
there were 3 in that weekend.
Here's the thing: if it's a handball where it disallows, like if it stops a goal from going in, or if it like, I'm trying to think, because if it's a handball that like, let's say like the ball's on the line and you accidentally handball it and it should have gone in, yes, call it, give a penalty, whatever, that's fine. If there is a handball where you're deliberately stopping the ball, okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the two scenarios where if the ball bounces up and it hits you, and it's like sort of going for you, but like it's fair, natural positioning, or if you're a defender and like the arm is connected and you're trying to block a shot, makes sense.
I mean, that weekend besides his, there were 2 other ones that were clear as day, and they didn't get called. They didn't get called. And VAR looked at both of them. And they didn't get called.
And VAR looked at this one too. That's the thing that disappointed me. It's just like, I mean, I understand like, okay, like, I don't know. It just...
Consistency. There needs to be...
Yeah, there needs to be consistency.
There's way too much subjectivity in reffing in general.
You know what they should do with VAR is what the NFL does with replays for like personal fouls and stuff.
Yeah.
It goes to New York. The same spot in New York City goes to the same spot with the same people.
Same committee and everything.
Same committee over and over and over again. The problem with VAR is every match, it's a different ref. and then it leaves up to the discretion of whoever the ref is at that time. And some refs in the Prem are a little looser. Other refs are much stricter.
But you know what it is? I think the one league that's done it well, I mean, we insult them, but the Bundesliga does a really good job of how they handle the VAR.
Yeah.
Which I think kudos to them. They do it right. But still, like, I mean, granted, United still ended up winning, but guess what? If that James Gardner cross doesn't get saved by David De Gea to Onana,
Oh my goodness.
I wanted James Gardner to score so
if that
bad.
goes in, I'm beyond.
I'm gonna say this right now.
Mad.
I have been saying this for weeks. Everyone's been making fun of me. Why did we let him leave? Why?
It's ridiculous. Why you guys let him leave?
Why?
He could have been
The
the
guy's
player.
class.
He could have been the player that Eriksson is right now.
Well, no, but not even
And younger.
No, but not even that. He could be playing that position that McTominay's
He could have
been
saved
playing
you
for so
guys.
long.
Scott McTominay.
Oh my God, McFred. He
And
could have broke McFred up a long time ago.
No,
We didn't even need to
not
buy
a long time
Casemiro.
ago. I think that time at Nottingham Forest under Steve Cooper did so much for him because I think Steve Cooper is one of the most underrated managers when it comes to developing youth into a professional side.
Yeah.
He's really good at that.
I think that was a really big mistake from United.
Oh yeah, I agree. I just didn't think Ten Hag knew enough about him, to be perfectly honest. I think that's because I feel like the difference between a practice evaluation of a player, like
And a game
yes,
evaluation.
coming as a coach, players in practice are way different than in game.
Yeah.
Have a kid, for
The
example.
intensity is
His
different.
name is Dylan. Dylan in practice will like mess about, just randomly touch the ball, not do anything. But in game, out of nowhere, the techers just come out. Like he's doing ball rolls, like he'll flick the ball. I'm like, where's this in practice? Like why don't you? He's like, I like it's how it is.
I mean, I remember back in the good old days when I played football, you didn't want to go that hard. You felt like, you do the bare minimum enough to show, I still got it, and then you get on the field, you're like, all right, time to turn up.
What you do is just like practice, training is just simply like working on things you could work off more.
The like basic skills.
So maybe he was looking like he's not as developed enough as I need him to be. So maybe like I can't really risk investing in him right now. Whereas like there's someone who's been in the mainstay for a while in this team.
Okay, then my
has some
question
trust.
becomes, well, how is Donny van der Beek not have seen the field once? Ten Hag, you coached him prior to leaving. He comes to Manchester United, goes through a bunch of coaches. Granted, he got some time under Ollie here and there.
At Everton, he was class.
And Everton, he on that loan, he looked amazing. And then you finally get Ten Hag. We all thought
I will
with
say
the coming of Ten Hag, we were going to see Donny
Ajax
2016
or
or 2017.
Well, he left Ajax 2019, 2020, no?
It was 2018, right?
Yeah, it was like, I thought it was
That
like
was when they
17, 18 that they
made
made that run.
Oh, he made the run. I thought you were talking about when Donny left.
No, I'm talking the run in that
17,
Champions.
18,
Oh my
17, 18.
gosh, they were incredible. Donny was playing out of his mind. That's the player we thought we got.
That's one of the best football I've ever seen.
That is
that
the
was
player
great.
we do have. We just don't use him.
No, because Ten Hag recently, as of today, like I said, Varane was out. The players that didn't practice, Maguire, Martial, Varane, Van der Beek, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And Ten Hag came out and
Van
said,
de Beek is injured right now.
and that's the problem is, Ten Hag came out and said, Van der Beek and Wan-Bissaka's injuries are long term. I think this is his way of slowly phasing them out of the team.
No, but supposedly it's only a few days. He's
No,
gonna be out.
but they said long term. He personally, the coach himself said, Donny and Aaron's injuries are long term injuries.
What if like Ten Hag's like low key like, yo, Donny, I gotta protect you for the World Cup so you can get called up, and then
He's not even getting called up for.
No,
he plays for the
Xavi
Netherlands,
Simmons
right?
clear.
Huh?
Xavi Simmons is clear.
In the Eredivisie this year, he's looking amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
but,
looking amazing.
I
But
mean,
like, he can't get called up. That Netherlands team right now
Yeah.
is probably, in my opinion, they're my
They're a
favorite
dark
to win
horse.
it. Not a dark horse. You can't even call them
No,
a dark
they're not
horse.
a dark horse.
No
They're not.
longer are they a dark horse. If you're talking dark horse teams, I would say like
Iran isn't that
Croatia. Croatia could be still considered a dark horse
they're
team.
not a dark horse either though, because of their last World Cup performance.
Yeah,
I
but
think gonna be-
they're old.
doesn't matter. When you have a Luka Modric in the midfield, doesn't matter. And a Mateo Kovacic, and a Brozovic.
You think
bro.
Netherlands is a contender against Brazil, Argentina?
Yes.
They're up. Here's the thing.
Yes.
They're in the group where they are going to cause problems, but I don't know if they can win it. That's
what I'm
what
saying.
they
That's like
are.
a dark horse.
But no, but that's not a dark horse.
That's
A
what
dark horse
is that.
No, a
Or
dark
am I
horse
tripping?
is a team that you don't expect
Okay.
to sort of make it through,
All right.
and that's your dark horse.
People were saying
Everyone
Italy was a dark horse, like in the Euros.
No, they're not, dude.
And then
it's
so I
like-
was like, okay, well, they won.
Italy's not a dark horse.
It's like Russia in last year's World Cup.
Yes.
Okay, I
That's
understand.
like
that.
the
All
dark
right, I
horse.
got you.
That's
Hold
dark
on. I'm trying to find. I have the groupings up right now.
So we'll talk about that in a bit, but just to finish up talking about the United game, I've been saying this for so long. Alex Iwobi plays at 8, and look what he's been doing at 8.
Yeah,
He's been on
He's
fire.
been
pretty good.
so good.
I think that midfield now is just it's so much better. Like
I never thought I would say this, but Adrisagana Gay in that midfield over James Gardner makes no sense to me anymore.
No, yeah.
I'm a
in those
very,
last minutes
I'm
that he
a
deserves.
very big advocate for Adrisagana Gay. I thought he was disrespected at PSG, but right now, with James Gardner and Onana, who's 6'5", bro.
Jesus.
Like that's someone who's gonna win you aerial duels and is gonna cause problems.
Not
he
against the
he
Rolls
marked
Royce.
no, but he marked Eriksen out of the game. He marked Eriksen and Casemiro out of the game. He was all over the both of them.
Yeah, their first goal, the first goal they scored was
him on Casemiro.
His tackle on Casemiro. And then out of nowhere,
that was actually my question.
the only good attacking Nigerian player decides, oh, you know what, I'm gonna turn back time and score from 25 yards out.
That was a dirty finish. But do you think that was a foul for the build-up?
No.
Because VAR's been calling a lot of fouls for the build-up.
No,
it
seemed like he got more of the ball than man.
But do you think because he was coming from behind and like his body hit him first before his foot hit the ball, is the argument?
I don't know. Like I said, the problem with roughing, and especially in soccer and especially in the EPL, is it's up to who's on the field.
It's subjective.
It's very subjective because what was it? Arsenal. I don't get. Oh, I want to say
when
Arsenal Chelsea, where Martinelli got stomped on in the back of his ankle, and then the next time Arsenal played, I think Saliba or what's his name against Liverpool. Who's the guy who just got in a fight with Henderson?
Oh,
Gabriel. I think Gabriel did the same thing in the Liverpool game recently. He stomped on someone's ankle the same way Martinelli got his, and Martinelli's was a red card.
Yeah,
I think. And Gabriel he didn't get anything but racial abuse from Henderson at the end of the day.
I mean, we don't know if it was.
We can't confirm nor deny.
Fair enough, but
because it's a lot of stuff we have to say allegedly for reasons unbeknownst to us. So here's the thing.
It's subjective though. At the
we
end of the day.
will go back to the Arsenal game in a moment, but United game, a big milestone was hit. 700 goals, club goals scored by the man himself,
greatest player
of all time,
CR 700. Come on.
CR 700, Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's the GOAT. I don't care. You Messi stands can come at me. All Messi stands on air. My Instagram live. If I was live on Twitch, come at me. CR7 is better than Messi, and I will live and die on that hill.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Same here.
What? Wait, Thomas looks like he's ready to debate us.
I don't know. I feel like it's like so close that
The World Cup's gonna decide it in Thomas' mind.
Wait, are we allowed to say that?
What?
WC?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been saying it for over the past 3 months. I think we're fine.
All right, cool. Fair enough.
Go ahead. It's like so close for me. Like honestly, one day I could be like, oh my god, Ronaldo's the best in the world, and then one day I could say, oh yeah, Messi's the best in the world. But like, I feel like there's no in between.
No, but the World Cup's gonna decide it. If either one of them win it,
we get an Argentina-Portugal final.
That would be beautiful.
Yeah, but it's gonna be at 10 a.m., dude.
I don't care. It could be at 1 a.m. I'm gonna be awake
everyone's
for
gonna
an
be watching that.
Argentina
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Portugal final.
I mean, if our listeners out there, no call to actions, but I would maybe watch out for stuff that might be happening. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, if that's the final, that's the great. I could die happy, like God forbid, but I'm take my life right afterwards. I don't care. I just watched them two duke it out, and that's international version of El Clasico. But go ahead, Thomas, about your Messi propaganda that you're trying to spew over there.
No, I just think I don't.
Oh, Annabella, by the way, we're not disrespecting Messi. Please don't be upset with us. Thank you very much. I appreciate it if you don't get upset. Thank you.
I feel like all right. So Messi has won. Okay, Messi's won more Ballon d'Ors. But
Okay, no. We just discussed how two of them were shams.
Okay,
we just moved from this topic. Two of them were shams.
Lewandowski should have won that one.
Is this base never gonna
No,
like?
it's never
Lewandowski
gonna end,
should've-
but it's always good to hear the other side of the coin.
Alright.
Go ahead.
No. I still I think right now Messi. I would say Messi's the GOAT over Ronaldo. But if you would have asked me 2 years ago or like 3 years ago, I would have said, oh yeah, it's Ronaldo. It's clear. But like I feel like it just keeps changing. Like I keep it open mind through it.
That's fair.
But like, yeah, if Ronaldo goes and wins the World Cup, obviously he's the best.
yeah,
But you
that's
have
it.
to pick a side.
But if Messi goes and wins the World Cup, Messi's the best in the world.
can't be doing your job, Thomas. You can't be a neutral.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I have to be neutral right now. Until they both retire.
the media-
You cannot be Switzerland, okay?
That's the problem with being in the media. You have to be definite on one side. You watch First
No,
Take,
but
you
guess
watch
what?
Shannon and
but
Skip.
guess what? Somehow Thomas will always be right, though. So
Let me wait until they retire, and then I could give you a final answer.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
but that's
Because right now they're both playing.
That's a
they're both
cop
have
out.
two
Wait till they
different
retire.
Yeah, but
I
they're
give
both
you
playing
the
right now,
wait
they
till the
can
World
both-
Cup. That's fair, but like.
All right, yeah. If Messi has one of his best World Cups he's ever had, then I feel like he's the best. If Ronaldo
But
does,
here's the thing. I'm concerned for Ronaldo because the issue with Cristiano Ronaldo being at any team is that he's always going to be bigger than any of the clubs.
Almost any. There's some that
No.
it's hard
He's,
to beat.
he's bigger than every club in the world, plain and simple. He's bigger than Real Madrid. He's bigger than Barcelona. He's bigger than Manchester United. Bigger than Chelsea. Bigger than Man City.
Shout out to Speed for helping that. Every young child that probably has never watched, every young child that's never watched football ever, they know the Sue celebration and they go look it up.
Well, also the Matchweek spread the propaganda with Ronaldo saying, "See." But no, Cristiano Ronaldo, his biggest issue is that he will be bigger than every club he goes to. And teams like United aren't a personality-driven club. They're always, you play for the badge. Whether every successful team, that's how it's been. Wayne Rooney was never bigger than Manchester United.
He could have been. Very
Sir Alex Ferguson was technically never bigger than Manchester United. Technically.
Mhm.
He's synonymous with it.
Mm-hmm.
The man who's been canceled, Ryan Giggs, was never bigger than Manchester United. He is canceled.
He has a lot of off-field issues.
We
amazing
spoke about
titles.
we spoke about
Amazing
last week. We
titles.
said cause we had it was so funny. Steven's delayed reaction. We're like, yes, he was just looking at it real quick. He looks at it like, oh god, like yeah, exactly, Steven. No, I mean even David Beckham was never bigger than the sport.
Yeah.
He was synonymous with it. In order for a team like Manchester United to perform well, you have to have everyone playing for each other. And last season showed that even though the quality of the team was not as great, it can't perform when you're playing for only one player.
My question becomes, I think Ten Hag's changed that though.
A little
with
bit,
the benching. No, not a little bit, a lot of it. With the benching, because it's not even like we don't know it, because Ten Hag himself has came out and said Ronaldo is PI, he's mad.
Yeah.
He's very mad. He's for
upset.
a better
He's
choice.
upset.
He's very upset with not being the starter. And I even thought personally, after the performance in Europa League, he'd get that start over Anthony Martial.
Martial was also on fire.
No, but Martial, supposedly he came into the game with a hip knock. He wasn't feeling great.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, let me play it out. Granted, he got the assist, so you can't knock Martial on how he played. Came off. Now, here's two things. Supposedly, Martial walked into the tunnel on his own accord, not with the physio telling him to go in the back.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think about that?
I think he is the Christian McCaffrey of soccer. The guy's literally always injured. He steps onto the field for like a game or two and something else.
Here's the thing, his injuries brings up like brightness, right? Him getting injured, Alanga came to form. Him getting injured when he first came to the club, everyone found out who Marcus Rashford was.
Listen, I personally think that Anthony Alanga is the biggest sham artist that's been on the team recently.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Hot take, yeah.
That is crazy. You're gonna
Hot
call
take.
him a sham?
I think he's a sham. 100%.
Wow, that's crazy.
100%.
I low-key,
We put so much pressure on this kid to perform out on the wing.
not anymore.
I know not anymore because he don't play.
Well, no,
don't
because
play.
there's options now. Last season, because of how horrendous of a season we were having, that was sort of forced on him because Rashford was getting injured, Sancho was being iffy, like he was on and off.
Real quick, how old is Alanga, guys? I think he's what, 18? 19? 18 or 19?
He's 18. He's young. He's
really
really,
young.
really young.
All right, let's think. Do you think out of all the best 18-year-olds in the world, I'm going to try to bring it up real quick while you think about it.
Just search up U18s, yeah.
He's good. Like he adds a spark
dude,
to a team. If you put him in a Prem team, I think he adds a spark.
First off,
to a
before
team.
that Arsenal game, when he played against Liverpool and when he played against Southampton, he looked class.
I think what you need in a team is a spark, and I think he's definitely a spark. I just think he like.
The one thing I like about these younger guys is that they're bringing a grit. Like
Exactly.
There's no
It's
more
just-
just being docile.
That's why I like. And I found out he's 18. I thought he was like 20. If I'm being honest.
Nah,
with you.
he's young.
But
He's
now
young.
I found he's 18. Like he's definitely worth like a shout. You know, he's definitely worth like.
Oh, hold on. I'll look up his age.
I mean,
Anthony Alanga. I mean, speaking of the other Anthony, I mean, everyone's calling him a one-trick pony, but guess what? Even when we were down against City, scored a phenomenal goal against Everton.
He was born in 2002.
Oh, yeah. I think he's the first.
20. He's 20. All right, so he's.
But
That's even worse. Think
no, it's
about
not. That's not worse.
Not worse.
Whoa,
Think
whoa,
about-
okay, hold on a second.
Not worse. 20's
You gotta
still good,
understand, to break into a Premier League side and be considered a solid player at 19 years old last season and 20 years old this season is impressive. We're doing too much of downgrading how important being this good at a young age is.
No, yeah.
Jude Bellingham deserves a respect for how young he is. Bukayo Saka has been playing in the Premier League since he was 17 years old and yet still killing it.
Okay.
I think respect has to
Here
be
we
given.
go. All right. Here we go. Here's a short list of the best 20-year-olds in all of soccer currently. Kareem Adeyemi.
Adeyemi finally
He's
making his mark.
19. He's 19 turning 20.
Yeah.
Kamavinga. And I don't think that needs to even be talked about.
Yeah, but Kamavinga is iffy because of how many starts he's been getting.
Yeah, exactly.
Charles
Kettler.
Catelier,
Okay.
who's
Kettler
playing.
you're talking about.
He was supposed to.
Yeah.
He was supposed to make a move into the EPL because teams were talking about bringing him in.
De Kettler.
But due to injury, I think he stayed over in Milan. Then you got Brian Gill.
No, he didn't. No, so he came from Club Bruges and transferred to AC Milan.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, so you got Brian Gill.
Nah.
You got Ryan Gravenberch.
Who is class, but at Bayern he hasn't really settled in.
You have, unfortunately,
I don't think you should say his name.
I don't want to say his name, and I hope that Manchester United does not bring him back. MG. We'll leave it at that.
MG.
Mr. I abuse individuals.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, no. He doesn't count. I don't know why you mentioned him.
I know he doesn't count because of we will state because of what he did. But if
As
we're talking
as
a person, he's a terrible
horrendous,
individual.
doesn't deserve it.
On
yes.
field though,
Wow. Yes. agreed.
he might be the reason why Manchester United went through such a struggle. He was supposed to be that goal scorer that
backup.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think he was supposed to be the backup. I truly think he doesn't get in trouble. Eric Ten Hag turns him into. I don't want to start saying
But
specific
we can't
names.
say what if. It's kind of like, you know.
But he really had it.
But he did have it.
Both
I will agree on
feet,
that.
Power, finesse, techers, cutting inside,
It's just that
long shots. He had it all. So unfortunately, he's going through. But there's talks that
He might
the
come back.
case he might get back because the case might be dropped,
Yeah.
and if it gets dropped, then I know the owners of the team are going to be like, oh, okay, cool.
I
like,
don't
bring him
know.
back.
I don't know about that because the fans might just.
Yeah, the fans.
No, okay, so
don't
either
know.
way, MG's out. We're not talking about him. He's done.
Okay.
Next.
Daniel Maldini,
Oh, Maldini's son. Yeah, okay, he's been half decent. He hasn't been bad for AC Milan.
Nuno Mendes,
Oh, class.
Oh, Nuno Mendes. Yeah, he's been good for PSG.
Roberto Piccolo,
Never heard of him. I'm not gonna lie.
Atalanta.
My knowledge.
Playing for Atalanta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's good. Okay, Atalanta. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeremy Pino,
He's good.
Villarreal.
Okay, yeah, he's half decent. Not bad.
Giovanni Reina, our good old American.
Injuries. I'm worried about him with
But
injuries.
it's just
he suffers a
if
lot
we're
from
comparing these
injuries.
players to
Rodrigo.
Anthony Alanga, it's just like
But that's
they
the
play in
thing.
a different league. They
Bukayo Saka.
Okay.
Yo,
It's
Bukayo
like
Saka.
that should end it right there.
No, but Bukayo Saka, we've made the argument. He's been playing in the Prem since he was 17. There's obviously players at different
Every
stages.
player
and different
has like
levels.
their own development. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like Jamie Vardy starting like at 25. You know, it's just like
Yeah, he
you
came
can't
up
really, you
from-
can't
The rest
really
of this list is
you can't really put age
unbelievable.
on a player and then say, oh, okay.
Keep
you know,
going.
his career's
like
done.
the rest of this list, I wouldn't want to, but like just listen to the rest of this list.
So
Yuri
what would
Timber,
you do with
Yuri
Alonso?
Timber. You had William Saliba. You've got Gavi. You've got Florian Wirtz, who's injured, obviously, but healthy, one of the best strikers and attacking midfielders in the world. Jamal Musiala, sorry.
There we go.
And then they rounded out with obviously Jude, and you finish off with Pedri. And this was an old list of the list because Jude is considered 18 on this list. We all know he's 20.
Now.
No, he's 20, I think.
No,
he's
19
20
now. We just talked about this, no?
No, I think Jude is.
Boys, did we not just talk about how he's 19 now?
No, he's not 19. He's got to be 20. Oh, he is 19 actually.
Yeah.
So think about that.
He started playing for Bristol City at 16 years old.
Yeah, but think about that. That's what I'm saying is that Alanga, I'm not going to say that he should have been as great, but like you were on this team getting big minutes in a big league, and he had so many opportunities. There were plays where I saw him one-on-one with a defender. Take him on.
Yeah, but
what do you
players
do?
have
you
to
mess
learn,
up.
dude. You gotta understand the fact that he's learning at one of the highest levels because Bukayo Saka wasn't as sensational
and he's just
as
breaking
him.
in. Like he's just breaking in.
Everyone is just breaking in. You have to give time. I always say when someone first breaks into the Prem, give them 2 seasons.
How long? Okay, 2 seasons. I was just about to say how long.
2 seasons is fair.
How long did?
For example, I think Jadon Sancho is prime example. Give him a season, second season, looking good.
No, because people are already talking about how he's not performing as he taking on defenders like he did at Dortmund.
Well,
and that's why
Ten Hag
we brought
wants
him
a different
over.
system from him. You gotta understand, Ten Hag plays differently.
I think people were expecting that like
unjust.
Nicolas Pepe, let's just say. Nicolas Pepe just like
Nicolas Pepe was fair to give 2 seasons, but guess what? He's not good.
He wasn't good, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Alanga, he's played 3 seasons for Manchester United.
No, how many minutes? I want to know minutes.
I'm not seeing minutes currently. I'm seeing that he had 5 matches in this current season, 22-23, and 21-22 he had 21, and 2020 and 2021 he had two games. He had a total of in those 3 seasons, in all 3 of those seasons, he has a total of 3 goals and 3 assists.
Yeah, but he came off the bench.
And then you take in Europa League, 2 matches, no goals or assists. Champions League in 2021, 3 matches, 1 goal. EFL Cup in 2021-2022, 1 match, no goals, no assists. Like I can start.
But he probably came
I
off
know.
the bench in like probably over 3/4 of those matches.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you gotta show some type like these top tier talents, these Pedris, these Gavis, these Jude Bellinghams. When they are given the opportunity, they perform. That's what I'm saying. Sports is a game of you understand when you get your opportunity. If you want to be an elite player at an elite team, which Manchester United is, it is elite. We are considered the best team in England, most recognized team in England. Nobody is bigger than Manchester United in England. Currently, you could say that Man City is because of their titles, but over full history, they're top. And if you want to be a top-tier player who at least comes off the bench for them, you have to perform when given the opportunity.
So listen. Anthony Elanga has played in 28 Premier League games and has only had 1,500 minutes. In 28 games, 1,500 minutes. That's very small amount in 28 games. Because think about it.
Well, okay, so tell me how many goals and assists he's had. Because even though it's a small amount, a lot of those times, especially with the most recent seasons, he's a starter.
Out of 2,520 minutes he could have available, he only has 1,500.
What were his stats?
And he has 3 goals, 3 assists.
Y'all telling me that's enough?
That's half decent
for 15,000 minutes.
That's numbers
for 1,500 minutes
for a 19-year-old.
For someone who was 18, 19 at the time breaking in, who still needs time. You gotta understand, you're valuing youth way too much.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, players peak at 27. Players
know.
are now still playing till 36.
I'm not gonna say that's not true, but I'm saying you are playing on an elite team. That's the same thing. That's the same thing like saying like if Kamavinga came in and his little times that he had.
What was Ronaldo's stats his first season at Manchester United ever?
Okay,
when he came in 2002. What was his first ever season stats? I want to know.
Definitely not a lot.
Definitely not a lot. Yeah, but
what was it? 2002.
2002. 2002. 2004. I'm sorry.
2002. Let's look up.
Just look it up on Transfermarkt. Cristiano Ronaldo and pull up his stats from the years.
All right, career stats. Here we go.
Transfermarkt is, by the way, the site where we use most of our sources from for Matchweek, if anyone's curious. That's where we get a lot of detailed stats, numbers, minutes, you name it. That's where we get it.
All right, here we go. I'm on the website. Let's enter in.
We do our due diligence here. We are not messing about. We are getting the exact numbers, exact information for you. We are settling this debate.
But we could talk about other players. You know, Martial. He was in form.
He was in form,
but a little
hip injury.
But Cristiano Ronaldo coming on, I think he was class. I think he put that effort in the team. I think he deserves
100%
more minutes
100%.
than what Ten Hag's supposedly saying. It's disrespectful to play. I don't even know what he's.
Well, here's the thing. It's just like Ronaldo. It's tough because like Ten Hag obviously has a forward system that's worked at Ajax, where he had Dusan Tadic, he had Ziyech at one point, and he had Antony and David Neres. All of them would flow in and around the front line, stretching defenders out, moving around, figuring it out.
So I'm passing it off to people who have done it a little bit
Are you
more.
looking it up on Transfermarkt?
His first
it's on
season.
here.
So, all right, Ronaldo's first season
There we go.
at Manchester United was 03-04.
Okay.
All three of
He played 29 matches. He scored 4 times. He scored 4 times and had 4 assists. And he played 1,551 minutes.
Yeah, but the difference in team though, right? At that time, he still had that phasing out of the class of '92.
Yeah.
He still wasn't the best. He still wasn't the most relied on kind of guy. Anthony Elanga, when he got pulled up, it was in a situation where it was like we were in dire straits of a player.
Yeah, but
it was like, bro, here's your shot to if you step up, and there's the possibility to.
He's still in rotation though. You can't say he's not.
And then Ronaldo, the season after that, which is 04-05, he played 33 matches, 2,425 minutes. He scored 5 goals and 4 assists.
Exactly. So in those 2 seasons, Ronaldo has over
2,500
more minutes than Elanga.
And then he still hasn't broken 10 goals in a season. For his 3rd season, he played 2,286 minutes. He scored 9 goals and assisted 6.
And so that's the thing.
But you just
far right now,
time.
3 seasons.
Yes, 3
seasons. He has more, about 3 times more minutes than Anthony Elanga.
And what did you just state though? He wasn't the guy on that team because of how good that team was.
Yeah, but Anthony Elanga's not considered the guy though.
I know. I'm not saying he was considered the guy, but he was put into position to be like, listen, we're dying. We have nobody right now. We have this issue with MG. You have Rashford that was
He was injured.
He was injured and having his issues. You had Martial was having his issues.
They sent him out alone to Sevilla in the second half.
He was having his issues, and then they had him leave. So it was like, where are we gonna go with this? And we were kind of like, all right, Elanga, you weren't the guy we needed, but we don't have the money or the means to get somebody in. Make something happen.
No, they don't want to spend the money or the means.
Okay, fair enough.
I just think that if you put Elanga in another team, you give him more minutes, he will perform.
Okay, you think that?
Yeah,
you think so?
I
So,
think it's just settled the debate.
I'm not gonna lie.
All right. I want to see a loan move. I want to see a loan move, and I want to see what happens.
I'm not gonna lie. If Elanga played against Everton, I think he would have been class against Everton. To be perfectly honest,
I want to see a loan move then.
Yeah,
I would like to see a loan move to like Southampton. Perfect team. Put him on a Southampton. Put him on a Southampton. That's a team that competes.
Send him to a Leicester. Leicester's dying for a
but
right now.
Yes, but at the same time, they're a losing team. So if he messes up, it'll make it look larger. I want him on a team.
Not really, because then guess what? A player, if a player can thrive in a losing team with a Patson Daka and a Jamie Vardy and a Clayton Nacho and a Harvey Barnes, if he could do something on that team,
okay, fair
then
enough.
Respect should be given.
Okay, I would personally want to see him on a Brentford or a Southampton.
I think all fans are way too fast on the hype train or the train of disrespecting players because of their age. It's like time is everything. Yeah. Football is all about timing, dude. Yeah. Nothing is just happening right away.
I mean, I guess I'm the type of person that like, especially the way I was raised by my dad. My dad was a tough cookie. You had limited opportunities, and in those limited opportunities, you were to seize your moment. Because you never know who's watching. And Anthony Elanga, when given his moments, if you look at not just the stats, but his performances on the pitch, like he had the energy. He reminded me of a more Tekkered version and a goal scoring ability version of what what's his name? James.
Daniel James?
Daniel James.
First off, the most disrespected player at Manchester United. Should never last. But continue.
But that's what Anthony Alonso reminded me of. He ran up and down because he's youthful and young. He has the lungs to do it. But like you put the ball
He
at
has
his
the work rate,
feet.
though.
You put the ball at his feet. He wasn't doing like, you know. Like I saw Jadon Sancho
But he hit the gritty.
and oh my god, oh my goodness, the gritty is
No, yeah,
is
but
really done.
we should talk about Anthony. 3 goals in the first 3 league matches. That's actually the first time I think it happened from the Manchester United player, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
in a while. I
Pretty
think.
impressive, right?
Is it the first time ever?
Now,
or
if you
first
want to
time
talk
in a
about
while?
Anthony has been that guy. He's been given the
That's the
moments,
perfect-
and he's been scoring.
It's the perfect example.
21 years
Give
old.
him the opportunity, and put
but
it this way:
Anthony's
he's
different,
22.
though.
He
Anthony's
is old.
different.
He is different, but the same type of feeds and opportunities he's getting with like his first goal involvement. I saw Alonga get similar type of
The thing is,
opportunities.
but it doesn't matter.
Anthony
And he
has
put it
matured.
Anthony's
matured
had
at
way
Ajax.
more time.
He's
You
definitely had-
understand? Players can only get better if they play in actual games.
Yeah.
Game-like scenarios are the only way you'll improve as a player.
Anthony has played probably a full season with Ajax.
Ajax
and
more.
Champions
Dude,
League. And more.
His minutes under Ajax are probably quadruple of what Anthony's
Yeah,
minutes are at
definitely.
Manchester United.
So I say if you just give that same time to Anthony, he will be a
Again,
good player.
timing is everything.
Exactly.
Give people time.
Okay, I mean,
One performance does not define a player.
But
Like
yeah.
Harry Maguire, we gave him a lot of time. We had a lot of hope for him. And that's the definition of where we can make a judgment that he's bad.
yeah,
Tyrell Malacia, he's great, but we still gotta give him time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Diogo Dalla, we gave him time at AC Milan. He's been performing decently for the team. We can't complain. Time is everything. We have to give players time.
Fair enough. I mean,
But yes, just to end it here, Cristiano Ronaldo, 700 goals. Manchester United, great performance.
Yeah.
Everton gave a good performance. I think they're going to finish out well this season, not have to worry about relegation.
where are they
Good,
at on the table?
good things to happen.
Now can we talk about Arsenal Liverpool?
Yes, Arsenal-Liverpool, the game of the weekend.
This is a game. Crazy game.
First off,
Not even.
I know Liverpool lost, but people be disrespecting Roberto Firmino way too much,
No, yeah.
dude.
I actually
Way too
like
much.
thinking about it right now. I think Bobby Firmino is their best outfield player this season. Behind, Luis Diaz was, but he's
So just
gone.
talk about
Yeah, he's
Liverpool right
gone now.
away.
he's gone.
What is everyone thinking about the discussions that Mo Salah should have left in the summer over Sadio Mane?
I think Sadio Mane leaving that team was the most disrespectful
Yes.
and the most hurtful thing you could do to that team. The fact that y'all thought that he wasn't the key to that team and that Mo Salah could carry that team.
No.
Well, don't get me wrong.
Is a spit
it's
in
like
the face.
Darwin Nunez is decent. Of course, he's decent, dude.
$100 million.
But dude,
But you can't put the price tag.
No, because
That's what
the
they
issue-
always do. That's what
they always
everybody
do
does
it.
that.
But he is
You have to.
decent. I will
Price
agree. He
tags-
is
Price
no,
tag.
no,
That's
no,
the reason
price
why
tags mean
we
something different
dump on.
nowadays.
That's price
No,
tags
no.
is why we dump
But-
on Harry
but
Maguire.
price tags mean something different nowadays. The price tag for Anthony's not worth $100 million, but you gotta understand, Ajax is losing one of their top players towards the end of the transfer window when they won't have enough time to recruit. They also already lost one of their star center back / midfielders. So you're paying the fee because you're paying the $100 million because you took their best center back, you took their coach, you took their coaching staff, you took their scouting network, and now you're going to take one of their best players. That's what that $100 million is paid for. Now, Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez was crucial to Benfica. He was.
Yeah, he's
Benfica, he was sensational for them, outstanding.
It was one season,
crucial.
though.
Doesn't matter. One season means a lot. One season makes you a lot of money still.
Yeah.
So to Benfica,
Anthony Alonga
to
didn't have
to them, losing a player who's making them money because they're going far into competitions, who's helping them win titles, means it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So I think that price tag's opinion has to change depending on situations. Harry Maguire, price tag evaluation makes sense. Paul Pogba, when he went to Manchester United, price tag made sense for the
I
evaluation.
think the price tag evaluation always comes in like after a few seasons, or after, let's say, 2 seasons, or after like the first season. But
and also level of player.
yeah, and the level of player.
Okay, so then my question is, how do you pay $100 million for?
But what about Jadon Sancho? They paid $100 million for Jadon Sancho.
He had multiple.
And his first season, he had like
No, he had before that contract. The season, because we got to remember.
He was class. He was amazing.
The,
But so was
season,
Darwin
the year
Nunez.
we got him, the year before that is when we actually wanted him, when they were going to pay less than $100 million.
Yes.
And those idiots upstairs messed it up. So then,
Exactly.
when it came back around, Borussia Dortmund already knew we would bend over backwards just to get him. So they're like, okay, you want to do that? We're going to make you pay $100 million.
Yeah.
Because before, if they were smart, they could have got him for easy.
But here's the
easily
thing, it's the same thing with Liverpool.
60 million.
Liverpool spent a lot of money on Alisson and a lot of money on Van Dijk. And it's worked out, and those make sense. Southampton was losing their star center back. They knew they might be at risk of relegation. Pay the money for it.
Okay, but
Roma
I'm not.
Roma was contending in the Champions League. It was contending for a Scudetto. If you're going to take their number one goalkeeper, you got to pay the money for it.
Okay, but that
Don't get
doesn't
me wrong.
convince
The
me
transfer
of
market-
the $100 million
the
for
transfer
Darwin
market-
Nunez.
The transfer market is inflated.
Yeah,
I will say that much.
Okay.
But I think price tags, those have to be subjective. You have to be subjective with each player under the price tag.
Okay,
And the situation.
But taking away the price tag, I think Darwin played a really good game. I think he was Liverpool's before Luis Diaz got injured.
Darwin
Nunez was their player.
Darwin Nunez has only been not doing the best starting off is because of that 3-game suspension.
Yeah.
I think that threw him for a loop. And again goes back to our refereeing decision issues. An unjust red card.
Look, I was not on the Darwin Nunez. Like I didn't think he was gonna do good in the Premier League.
Neither did I.
But like watching this game, I think he has potential. He has potential. He definitely has the movement. He took some shots. You know, he could get there. He could get.
I do have to say,
alright, so here's a question.
yes.
Do you think what will unlock him is a upgrade in midfield for Liverpool? Because that's what
100%.
everybody in
And
Liverpool is complaining about is how
listen.
bad.
I love Thiago. He's too old. Henderson's not good enough anymore. James Milner, too old.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I think
Jude
Thiago,
Bellingham,
honestly, I think Thiago is still good enough.
He's good. He's technically
He's just
phenomenal
injury
on the ball.
prone. He's just injury prone.
But he doesn't have the pace anymore.
But they need a creative midfield. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but that's-
Thiago's him,
but
but it's just
Thiago, let him play Eriksen role at Liverpool.
Okay.
Let him be the guy who pings balls, finds players. Let Fabinho do all the dirty work and find somebody to connect the rest of the team.
So that's where these two gentlemen were just saying was, it's the Jude Bellingham effect. And when you think about it, no other team was linked to him prior to Haaland coming and them putting Man City's hat in it, and then, United, obviously, they put their hat in any big name player that's there just so that if the opportunity does come around that they're slightly interested and we end up doing well this year, they could convince somebody to come. But personally, I do think, as much as I hate to say it because they're our rivals, it's got to be there. Yeah. It's either there, you go to Real or Barcelona and you sit the bench. It's just that. If you want to play,
I wouldn't say bench at Real Madrid. I don't know.
No, it's the bench because you are not beating out
Okay.
You're not playing over Camavinga, Tuchemeni, or Valverde.
I think Camavinga, you could give him a shot.
If he moves through Real Madrid, he's not.
If you bench Camavinga for Jude Bellingham,
Steven, listen to me, bro.
Lord,
that midfield is perfect right now.
I think it's perfect right now. That's why I don't think he should go there. But if I'm saying hypothetically, if he does go there,
they have already replaced Toni Kroos, Casemiro, and
almost Modric.
No, yeah, they replaced every player. Let's just say that.
Almost Modric.
Almost. Okay, yeah,
I think personally Tuchemeni can become, it's probably going to be Valverde.
Camavinga is going to play the.
No, I think it's going to be Valverde that will do it because he played up top, so he has the creative ability to do what Modric does, and the scoring ability that Modric brings.
Yeah, but no one can pass the. You understand? Modric's biggest strength is his passing ability.
Okay,
Camavinga is close to having that. But we're talking about
Liverpool,
Arsenal.
Yeah,
Liverpool. Trent's being big issues for them. Joe Gomez having to fill in there. Andy Robertson being injured, I think, was a big thing for them because Andrew Robertson, I think, doesn't get enough respect, in my opinion. He's actually a solid left back. I think he's been the one helping out that back line a lot. Joel Matip and Van Dijk. Matip's been having to carry a lot of the performances with Van Dijk.
Yeah. But I don't blame Van Dijk.
No.
I honestly,
he has no
Trent
help from
Alexander-Arnold
or from the right side.
Watching
is
this Liverpool
so bad defensively. Like, it could be covered up internationally like we talked about with the back five, but club play. I'm just watching highlights of some of these goals. I saw someone break it down. The one goal, you see Martinelli take the ball, And you already see, I don't know who it is on the midfield that tracks back to cover him, but you have him covered. Trent, you are in the back line, covering up, and then you decide to double, and then it becomes a triple team, and you leave the midfield completely open for the goal.
Look, watching Liverpool now compared to back then with Sané, Mo Salah, and then the original Liverpool. Watching against Man City, this is a whole different Liverpool. This is not the Liverpool that I've watched throughout my life.
The midfield rotation is different now because Henderson's older.
No, exactly.
Milner's older, but also Oxlade-Chamberlain at that time. We might not have high regards for him, but at that time he was playing really, really well before he got injured.
Yeah.
So I think give kudos where it's due. Give the credit.
But definitely totally different.
In my opinion, the
squad.
midfield is the biggest issue right now because Salah's been left to do all the creativity. Luis Diaz has just been driving. Nunez, he's not a creator. He's just there to find the passes, get the end of the passes and score goals. There's no creator anymore.
I have a question, then.
And I have an answer.
Do you see Liverpool take a stab at a Yuri Tielemans or a James Madison January?
They need both.
This January.
If I'm Liverpool, I throw 130 million and I get both of them.
Because those two are probably the best midfielders in the English league, and English teams like to stay within.
Also, if I'm a Liverpool, why did I not go in for James Gardner? I want to be perfectly honest.
They need to invest.
Well, they need a now player.
Yeah, but James Gardner clearly showed against United he can be a now player in club level.
Yes, but they need a now player, as in you've done it already. You have the experience.
Well, supposedly
because they're obviously out of a title race.
Well, here's the thing. Supposedly it was supposed to be Artur, but as soon as he gets to the club,
as soon as he gets there, well, they should have saw that coming.
Yeah,
they should have saw that coming.
Yeah,
Gravenberch would be an amazing.
I don't know why he went to. I think he has a chance to go to Liverpool.
How does Gravenberch go to Bayern for only 17.5 million and plus rising fees of transfer manager stuff? It's $21 million. How do we allow that to happen? Someone who is that good at such a young age.
That's a player that I always add on my teams.
No, yeah.
That's a player I always add on my team. So he's a top tier player. But I really think James Madison, Yuri Tielemans need to be picked up on January.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I mean, in regards of Arsenal, because we don't have that much time left, we have to give them the respect and credit they deserved. Top of the league, very well ran. The club culture is going well.
Yeah.
Big change with Tomiyasu at left back today, filling in.
But he was class.
Pocketed
Mo Salah.
Yeah, did really, really well.
This year it doesn't seem like it's too hard to pocket Mo Salah.
No, yeah, definitely. I will agree with that. Mo Salah's been looking very
I've seen the memes of the belly dancer that looks like Mo Salah, and they're like, I saw one
of Mo Salah just sleeping.
But boys, here's the thing with Arsenal, right? Arsenal, they're a good team. I think.
Do you think they win the title?
I think they can contend. Well, honestly,
Thomas, why not?
No. They do.
No.
Why not?
City's gonna.
I want to see how they play against City. That game against City is gonna decide everything.
After the game after City, if City does win, it's gonna shatter the momentum. My opinion is just it's from there. It's City on.
Is it a comparison to what's going on with the Eagles, where the Eagles are playing the Cowboys this weekend, and they have the Cowboys have one of the best defenses, and that breaks it up. It's like that kind of situation for Arsenal.
No, I just think it's City's clear. It's just
City is just the better
performances they've been giving.
No, yeah, but that's the thing. City has the better team
in the Premier League,
but how they play in the Prem, I think, makes a big difference.
I just think one injury to Arsenal, it can literally shatter them.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing, right?
Gabby Martinelli injury or Gabby Jesus injury.
That is why I'm saying we have to see what happens when it comes to playing against City. I think that's gonna be the most
City,
important thing.
if someone gets injured, it's just you have the players to back it.
I will say this: the addition, well, not really the addition, but the bringing back of Saliba. I think that might be a clearance. Haaland hasn't played a true big man defender that's on good 100%. Form. On good form.
Well, but I still want to see him play against Van Dijk, see how he does.
Van Dijk is off form, though. That's why I'm saying on form.
But he did play Van Dijk on form, in the Champions League.
Yeah, but still, I want to. It doesn't matter. Van Dijk is still a bigger presence. I want to see how Haaland can handle a bigger presence center back in general. No matter who it is.
Done it already, just continuous times. It's just. Come on.
But it's different. We have to see. It's different.
We have to see it.
We have to see it for ourselves. Plain and simple.
This kid, this man's Haaland.
He's not human. But
not.
funny thing about him is that to catch up to CR700, he would have to average 45 goals for 16 years.
And he could do it.
You could do it. That's easy.
That right now, he already has 20 goals.
I don't know.
It's October.
That's
It's
tough.
October.
Averaging
It's October.
46, averaging 46 every year.
Bro, he could have easily what 46. He could easily have.
It's
what,
October. He has 20.
He can easily have 90 in
But
one
guys,
season.
I think it's towards the end of our time.
Yeah.
I appreciate having you all on.
Mm-hmm.
Any last thoughts? Final 5 seconds, real quick. Thomas, what you gotta say?
I think Haaland's gonna compete with Ronaldo with goals.
Steven?
I think he will.
Yeah, Haaland's getting the mark, you know.
X?
I think Haaland is the second best player in his family, and his younger cousin who plays for Norway is going to be better. And I hope that Manchester United gets him this time by having Ollie go to Norway and fix that up.
Guys, I thank all of you for coming on today. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming. Everybody, you've been listening. Top of the hour on WMSC Upper Montclair. And this is
Match day.
Match Week. How dare you?
I thought it was match
How
day.
dare you?
Oh, no.
Now I deserve never to be back on
guys,
for that one.
Real quick, make sure you tell somebody you love them. I'll see you next time.